ひなみ沢村がかつて鬼ヶ淵村と呼ばれていたことをご存知ですか？
Hey everybody, we're back with some more Higurashi. Last time Keiichi and Rena went into Mion's house and basically started interrogating her. Rena was awesome. As per usual with this chapter though, she's been a really different character, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it seems like Mion was sort of cracking. It was kind of cool to see Keiichi observing her and notice like the little her slowly kind of breaking down. But now she took this whole new kind of persona as the leader of the Sonozaki family, and it looks like she'll start explaining some stuff. So we might be getting a lot of answers, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited to start with this. So let's just start it. Rena nodded lightly, then shot me a glance, asking me if I did. I returned her nod. Hinamizawa was once called Ani the Fuji village. Yes. I heard all about it that night from Takano-san in the ritual storehouse. They firmly believed that demon blood ran through their veins and cut off all contact with the outside world. They were worshipped by those in the villages at the foot of the mountains and treated like transcendents, those capable of magic.
そうです。鬼ヶ淵村のご先祖様たちは鬼の血を引く誇り高き仙人たちでした。麓の村々の人たちは崇め、そして敬いました。ですが、そういう空気も徳川の世が終わるとともに廃れていきました。
The black ships arrived. The era of the samurai ended. The era of national isolation ended. And the tradition of worshipping Anidafuchi village quickly disappeared. Those things that linger from the past were all to be detested. That was the kind of era it became.
明治になり、古い歴史を持つ鬼ヶ淵村の名称は一方的にひなみ沢村に改められてしまいました。
Is it loud? I think it's loud. I'm gonna turn down the volume just for this part. I remember someone complaining about being too loud sometimes. So let's move it. It's a little 15? Okay. Yeah, it's a little loud.
古い因習を
So
一
they
掃
were
し
forced
よう
to
とす
change
る
it.
明治政府の思惑が強く働いたのだと聞かされています。
Made sense. I thought they just changed it, to blend in, but getting forced to change it also made sense. The abolition of feudal domains and the establishment of prefectures. An era had begun, seeing Japan sprinting up the stairs that were beyond their means to try and reach the same level of the rest of the world. All things in the Western style were to be installed, while all traditional things were to be scorned. That was the sort of era it was.
そういう時代の激変の中で滝壺に落ちていく花びらのようにあっという間に鬼ヶ淵村は消えてしまったのです。
At last, Japan, provoked by the great European powers colonizing countries in Asia, one by one began a policy to increase its wealth and military power so that it could stand as a global power in its own right. Conscription began, and they won after the war. The first Sino-Japanese War, the Russo-Japanese War, and until the Pacific War broke out. They recklessly climbed the staircase towards modernization.
この頃にはもう鬼ヶ淵村の不可侵性は失われていました。かつて仙人と崇められた村人たちは否認扱いを受け、神聖な鬼ヶ淵村はいつの間にか疫病患者の隔離集落の慣れの果てであるという根も葉もないレッテルを貼られ、苦難の時代を迎えることになったのでした。
Oh, that sucks. Being labeled as a village with incurable diseases. Yikes. Thus began the harsh days where one would suffer unreasonably discrimination just because people knew one was from Onidafuchi. The children in the village at the foot of the mountain were taught not to go near Hinamizawa because filthy germs were rampant there. Children who had come into contact with children in Hinamizawa would cry and wail as their parents purified the spot they were touched by rubbing salt on it. One of the adults said to the children that if you got lost in Hinamizawa, you would be kidnapped by demons, cut up into pieces, and devoured. Never, ever go near the terrifying village of the man-eating demons. That's what he taught them. Another said that during the famine long ago, the people of Hinamizawa gathered up all the corpses they discarded into the dry riverbeds, then cooked and ate them in order to survive. Groundless stories, but said in such seriousness. Baseless slander added to baseless slander, making Onidafuchi Village's historically accurate, thrilling history all the more believable. Perhaps a chain of undue discrimination was a manifestation of the people's anxiety towards the uncertain times. Of course, the story didn't end only with the perspective of children. If anyone found out you were from Onidafuchi, you would be turned down from any job you applied for. People would even go back on engagements and marriage proposals. As for the marriages where one partner had lied about it, as soon as the truth got out, they were made to divorce.
裁判も起こしました。出身の問題は離婚する重要な理由にはなり得ないと訴えて、でも敗訴しました。出身の虚偽は結婚の上での重大な詐称行為にあたるのだそうで。
Is that a big deal? It might be. I don't know if it's a big deal in a modern society. Lying about where you come from.
ひどいね。
Just in some cases.
そんな
I
の
can see why it's bad. I've heard about such discrimination towards those in small villages in civics class. Just because others knew you were from a tiny hamlet, you would be subjected to every social disadvantage there was, a modern form of bullying. Though I only memorized that because it was going to be on a test one time. I recalled being suspicious about it and unable to believe such discrimination occurred in modern Japan.
まあ、自業自得と言えないこともないのかもしれません。私たちのご先祖様は自分たちに鬼の血が流れていることを誇りに思い、自慢、その神秘性で麓の村人たちを怖がらせ、義父と貢ぎ物の献上を要求してきたのですから。
Yeah, I mean it makes sense that the other villages saying that don't go near Hinamizawa, it's a village of demons. I mean that one's not that unreasonable, right? Since again, like you said, they're boasting about it. It's just the other stuff is kind of, you know. With that, Mion smiled for the first time, albeit in self-mockery.
太平洋戦争中は国民一丸のスローガンが流れながらも、南沢村の人々はさまざまな差別を受け続けました。数え出したらキリがないくらい。夫や息子を戦場に送り出し、15の女たちも心がすさんでいたのでしょうね。当時をよく覚えている祖母は、それは苦しい時代だったと回想しています。
Even that bitterly long war, however, finally ended in 1945.
多数の男手を失った南沢にも、ようやく父や夫、息子たちが戻ってまいりました。もちろん帰らぬ者も多かった。それでも男手がなく村を維持することにすら限界をきたしていた南沢にとって、それはとても喜ばしいことでした。
MacArthur's GHQ set to work on drastically improving mindsets and strove for the abolition of unfair discrimination. They could feel day breaking on the dismal night that was the previous era.
敗走寸前だった南沢をもう一度立て直す、そういう機運が高まり、村人たちは村を少しでも豊かにするために働き始めました。
During that time, someone appeared who built a fortune through the vast number of dealings in the black market. That was Mion's grandfather, the husband of the elderly turret leader, Sohei Sonozaki.
宗平は中国大陸に出兵し、ハルピンで食料倉庫の管理をしていたといい、撤退時に上官や仲間たちと共謀して軍の缶詰をごっそりと盗み出していたのでした。それを瀬戸内海某所に隠し、闇市で高値で売りさばいて大きな富を得たのです。
Oops. Sorry. Okay, I see. Sohei didn't spend that fortune for his own pleasure either. He entrusted the entire amount to his wife, the head of the Sonozaki house.
廃れたひなみ沢を復興させよう。村人すべては家族であり、この富は共有の財産である。現当主である祖母はそう宣言しました。この大きな富はその後のひなみ沢の復興の大きな力となったのです。
I see. With that, Hinamizawa came back to life, and that's how the Sonozaki family had established its term prosperity.
もちろん闇市で財を成したことを妬む人たちも大勢いましたが、もう村人は気にしなかった。
They succeeded at one business venture after another. Those who had succeeded freely supported those who followed them. The giant family of Hinamizawa, tied together with strong bonds, kept on expanding its influence. The Sonozaki family, the center of everything, would be, it's told, for a long time as the minds behind Hinamizawa's revitalization.
その活躍の中心人物がみーちゃんのおばあちゃんなんだね。すごいよね。大活躍。
Mion looked like she was honestly happy Rena had praised her.
ですが昭和30年頃にまたしても逆風が吹き始めます。それが缶詰疑惑でした。
We've heard about that earlier. I think Takano brought that up and Shion made her keep hush about it. Canned flesh. It sounded so hideous that just hearing it made me nauseous.
祖父園崎宗平の上官だったと名乗る男が告白したのです。彼の調達した缶詰は、実は食材を用いたものではなかったのだ。
Canned flesh to the black market. Hinamizawa. Oh, that's nasty. And the people probably didn't know they were eating other people when they sold it to the black market. But I guess it's kind of a good business tactic. Instead of getting food, they could have, since it was still in tough times, they just took dead bodies and did it. I mean, I'm not justifying it. Just saying. Sorry to hear that. Hinamizawa, a village in which demons lived and ate humans. They were just about to wipe away that cursed stigma. The light they had finally started to see in their peaceful lives grew hazy and disappeared. The shocking truth, as revealed by his superior, the stolen provisions from the old Japanese army that had been a huge cornerstone for Hinamizawa's revival, had been canned human flesh. Why were there cans like that? Wasn't Sohei just the manager of food warehouses? His superior revealed that Sohei Sonozaki did not have the job of managing the food. In reality, Sohei's job during the war had been to exterminate pestilent mice and to transport the corpses of those with infectious diseases. Really? Oh, it's not even just normal human flesh, it's diseased human flesh. It had been unfair treatment, and all because of the lowliness of his origins. As a result, though, he had returned safely without having been sent to the front lines or being detained. Perhaps that was the only fortunate thing to happen to him. Finally, Sohei was enlisted as an assistant at a military medical institution. There, however, he found something even worse than the low-scoring, depressing customs of Onigafuchi village in the research they were carrying out. could that have been? Well, you know, the bacteriological corpse in the old Japanese army or whatever that did like human experiments. Well, I don't know if that's it, but I know they did human experiments back then too, right? Keiichi-kun, you've heard of that? What could it be? I was pretty sure it was Unit 731. It was a nightmare unit that devoted itself to researching terrifying... Oh, never mind. It's not human experiments. It's like chemical weapons. Bacteriological weapons to break the deadlock in the war. They use many innocent... Okay, so it is... Okay, it's human experiments, but, you know, using chemical weapons. They use many innocent people as fodder for horrible human experiments. They methodically observed how many days a new strain would take to kill the victims, how many days it would be when injected, how many days it would be when swallowed. They dissected many people to find that out. Sometimes they wouldn't bother waiting until they were dead and dissected them while they were still alive. They would strap them into centrifuges while still alive and crush them in decompression chambers while still alive. It's horrible. When a live human decompresses, all the holes in their body get pushed outwards, and their intestines get pushed out of their anus like a snake finding out of it. Okay. I have a feeling I saw something like that on a documentary one time. That makes me sick. And they still hate Hinamizawa, huh? You said it. Mion agreed with me, giving a faint, sad smile. There wasn't much in the way of communication, but for some reason I was happy to have it right now.
僧兵がいた部隊は
That's your voice
より現実的で温情的な研究をしていました。
Oh, so it's not.
それは戦地での困難な食料調達に関する具体的な手法の研究でした。
Okay, so it wasn't disease flash, at least. I see. The military's design at the start of the war completely fell apart, and a chronic food shortage broke out all over the battlefronts. The food shortage led to malnutrition, and as their natural resistance is lowered, the soldiers fell to one disease after another. Spirit and morale lowered as well. They wouldn't be able to maintain their forces at this rate. Apparently that's where the research started. At first, it was to find methods of delivering food to battlefields. It was very broad and included things from violent methods like stealing it from citizens to survival methods like how to cook unfamiliar insects and plant life. As they were working out the details, they kept straying off course and going out of the control, until they finally knocked down a door called taboo.
戦場で一番入手しやすいタンパク源は何だと思います？
Flesh. Ren and I knew the answer without being told, so we didn't answer.
そう。彼らは通常は食しないものを食材として扱う方法を研究していたのです。彼らは時には敵な、時には望まぬ食物をハンデでも戦い抜くことが国に報いる究極の方針になる。
Is this like a true thing? Because I've never heard of Japan doing that. But you can imagine, especially in like World War II and stuff, that I'm sure some people actually probably ate flesh off corpses.
そういう競技を大真面目に組み上げていったのです。滑稽な話ですね。祖父を過去のことで蔑んでおきながら、自分たちはさらにその上を言っていたのですから。祖父はいつも思っていたそうです。たとえ世間の噂がどうあれ、彼らはそれよりもはるかに醜い鬼なんだと。だからいくら蔑まれたってちっとも答えないと。
At last, they had a handful of test prototypes. When the soldiers learned it was human flesh, however, the scientists couldn't make anyone eat it. So it was apparently sent to the front lines. The cans were labeled as meat substitutes, and that they wouldn't accidentally eat it themselves, they stamped the bottoms with a circle.
お腹を空かせた前線の兵隊さんにはどの試作品もとて
That's
も好
so
評だったそう
mean, though. I mean, tactically it made sense, but like morally, that's horrible.
です。中でも醤油で煮たすき焼き風のものが一番好評だったそうです。
I'm sure if someone actually learned about that after, or like a veterans would probably like be. I mean, they're probably scarred anyways, but even more scarred.
もうやめてよみーちゃん。気分が悪くなってきた。
Rena really was pale-faced, and she looked like she was having difficulty continuing to sit on her knees. Mion looked like she had more to say, but she sighed lightly and stopped there.
じゃあそのミオンのじいさんが持ち帰ったという缶詰は
真偽は分かりません。晩年まで宗平は世間の風評を否定し続けました。
This was just from the report from the superior.
ですが、ひなみ沢の急激な復興を妬む人々は、その疑惑を真実のように面白おかしく書き立て、村人をまたしても蔑み始めたのです。
Damn.
また、
That sucks.
子供たちが林立てられ、石を投げつけられる時代に戻ってしまったのです。
The stifling silence came back. What a seriously hopeless and sad story it was. They discriminated, were discriminated against, discriminated and were discriminated against. Why must they attach worth and weight to it? Why can't they live without looking down on people? Why can't everyone enjoy life together? I didn't know.
当主である祖母は、ある時、村の子供たちにこう言いました。
If they throw a stone at one of you, then two of you must throw stones back. The children asked her, What if they threw stones at two of us? Of course the answer was simple.
2人に石を投げられたら4人で石を、8人に棒で覆われたら16人で追い返し、30人に中傷されたなら60人で怒鳴り返す。
Finally, the children asked, What if we're attacked by 1,000 people? Even that answer is simple.
1000人に襲われたなら、ひなみ沢の全員で立ち向かいなさいと。それは決起を促す劇のようですらありました。祖母は園崎本家当主としてだけでなく、ひなみ沢の母太郎として立ち上がったのです。
It was halfway through 1955. It was a time when riots over the treaty with the US were rampant, a time of battle and action. The people of Hinamizawa joined together and fought, treating unfair discrimination towards one as a crime against them all. It didn't matter whether that one was a child or an adult. If they had heard that a child had been told off, then everyone would crowd the house of the perpetrator, acting as a whole. If they heard an adult had been treated unfairly, men and women, young and old, would all band together and stand up against it. If you meddled with the people from Hinamizawa, you would be in trouble. They probably figured that out, that if they could make others think that they'd win.
ケイちゃんも町で不良に絡まれた時、たくさんの人たちに助けられたのを思い出しませんか？
Yep. Also, that was Mion as she, I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's the time when she was talking about the protests. So that was actually Mion dressing up as Shion that time. And I guess that made sense why all the villagers came to help her since, she's the leader. So that's how she could, bring the crowd. I recalled how much of an impression it had left on me. That the people of Hinamizawa boldly came to my rescue, yet the people of Okinomiya averted their eyes so they wouldn't get involved.
祖母が戦い、両親がそれを引き継ぎ、ようやくひなみ沢にも平和が戻った。もっともその平和もとても薄い川の上に乗ったものです。この100年の歴史を見れば、今の平穏など揺れ返す天秤のたまたまの狭間としか言えないでしょう。
I mean, this story does kind of explain why they're so... I mean, I said cult-like, but I guess it's more of a isolation thing. I don't know. Like a high... kind of almost a... It's almost a hive-minded end, and I guess it stems from Mion's grandmother's teachings. That's interesting. I guess it would also explain if there is more people in Hinamizawa committing crimes, I guess it would explain like their motivations, after years and years of discrimination against them.
どうして
Could I really have an opinion on such a long and difficult history when I hadn't moved here more than a year ago? Yeah, I said it anyway.
どうしてみんなで仲良く暮らし合えないんだよ。高野さんに聞いたお社様の昔話はどうなったんだよ。
Man and demon joined hands and lived together in harmony. Didn't Oyashiro-sama remain in this world to watch over that?
おとぎ話です。人と鬼は実在しても、それを調停するお社様は実在しなかったということです。
それでお社様のたたりを起こすことになったの。
A cool gust of wind blows from outside, fluttering Mion's long, beautifully clear hair. Mion kept her refreshing smile without answering and didn't even change her expression, but even that became a silent answer.
ひなみ沢村を再び鬼ヶ淵村のように崇められるに足る神聖な存在に。
Really? Okay, no, I'll wait.
それが我ら鬼ヶ淵村の末裔の悲願であり、園崎本家の鬼を継ぐ者の宿命なのです。
鬼を継ぐ者？
我が園崎本家は代々当主の名に鬼の一字を加える習慣があるのです。私の名前を手のひらにでも書いていただければ一目瞭然かと。
I trace out the word Mion on the palm of my hand. Oh, she's right. The character for demon isn't there.
名前だけではありません。この体にも鬼が刻まれている
Oh,
の
the
で
bat
す。
tattoo. I want to see it. I love like full tattoos like that. They look so cool. I mean, they probably won't show it, but BRB. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the transition. It's been a couple seconds for you, but it's actually been kind of a long time for me. But that session was only like 22 minutes, so I didn't really want to upload it, so I just combined these two together. Seems fine. Don't worry, it's still fresh in my mind of what happened, about Mion explaining kind of the history of Hinamizawa. And I think I believe most of it, and it also explains motives onto why they're so like, I still don't know the word for it, or why they stick up to that with each other a lot and isolationist kind of thing. The only point that I'm oops, wait. You do not hear game audio, do you? Why is that? I'm trying to restart, obviously. Maybe? Oh, no, you hear it now. Okay, now I'll leave that in. It's kind of funny watching me mess up as per usual. But yeah, the only point I look at kind of with scrutiny is her explanation of why the Watanagashi murders happened, because she kind of said it's a way to, keep the appearance or remind people that they were descendants of demons or whatever, sort of like a morale boost to the village or something. That one seems a little more fishy than I don't know. That one just doesn't sit to me as much, so there's that. And the only other observation which kind of fell through was when Keiichi was talking about like the drug experiments. I was like, oh my god, maybe this explains how the drug was created. It was by Mion's granddad, and we can actually eliminate the possibility of a outside group. But then Mion's like, nah, he didn't work there. He worked on a different thing. So I guess that's kind of thrown out. So unlucky, but I just thought I wanted to mention that because I thought that might have been a breakthrough until Mion kind of disproved it. But anyways, let's just get back right into this. When she said that, she quietly rose and began to lay her hand on her clothing. Oh, she's trying to show it?
いいよみーちゃん
Wait, I want to see it. Oh, I remember now. We left off right when she was talking about her back tattoo. Or maybe she didn't say it, but she said it was like the sign of the demon was on her body. Rena, no, I want to see it. It's
見せる
probably
必要
cool.
なんて全然ない
No, Rena.
ありがとう。
Oh, wait, is it like not a good thing? I thought it would have been cool. With just that exchange, I guess what she meant. Most likely, somewhere on her body, there's a permanent seal, such as a tattoo or marking, that prove that she inherited the demon. Mion didn't sit back down. She smoothly opened the paper door onto the porch. A refreshing breeze began to cleanse the damp air filling the room. Just checking. Mion quietly gazed out at the wide yard for quite a while. On her shoulders was something I never imagined the normal Mion carrying. It was the heavy, truly heavy history of Hinamizawa. No, of Onidofuchi weighing down on them. What kind of words could I possibly say to a Mion like that? Rena wasn't saying anything to her either. Only the voices of the cicadas drowned out the silence. At last, after a long period of nothing, Mion murmured,
この5年間の連続事件ね。私が直接関わったものもあるし、間接的に関わったものもある。いくつかは園崎家だけでなく、他の御三家の君吉家や古出家が関わっているものもあるけど、そのすべての中心に私がいたと思う。
Someone or not the... So they tear... Okay. Well, I can believe that the villagers did it. Just the motives were a little different for me. So they tear it. So she's saying that the other three families could carry it out. I mean, the Kimiyoshi family seemed kind of big because we know they have a couple relatives when they're looking for the mayor. But I mean, oh, I guess the Farud family could do it pre the death of Rita's parents. I don't think Rita would kill anyone. Seems a little weird. And she's probably gonna explain why she killed, which we think she killed. It's almost certain she killed Rita and Kimiyoshi, since they were, allies, I guess. You think the Farud family would have something to do with the death of some of the Hojos? I feel like that could be a thing. Even though, I don't know why, but it just fit well with Satoko and Rika being friends, that they would do that. Just, thematically, it fit well as a story. She said it all without turning around, with her back to us. At some point, her tone of voice had drawn back to being the Mion we knew.
私は自分のしたことには信念を持ってるし、罪の意識などまるでない。あるとすれば、私の跡継ぎも決まらないうちに舞台を退かねばならないことくらいかな。私を捕まえて、それで法治国家の体裁が整うなら、それも時代の流れかなって。この100年で一番平和なひなみ沢を見ながら引退できるのは、ひょっとすると歴代の園崎家の当主で一番の幸せなのかもしれないし。
Mion leaned a shoulder against the paper door, then slid down it, and flopped on the ground. It was an act of such resignation that seeing it made me hurt inside. The numerous terrible crimes Mion had been a part of suddenly began to fade from my mind. Hey, Mion, I don't care what happens after this. Can you just try to struggle as much as you can? Try to run away? As soon as I began to think that way, Rena's ringing voice filled the room.
でもみーちゃんはリカちゃんとサトコちゃんを殺したんだよね。
Yeah, why did that happen? The sharp points of her words stabbed into my chest despite not being directed at me.
他の人のことは殺してもいいとも言わないよ。
Yeah.
とにかくみーちゃんはリカちゃんとサトコちゃんを殺した。
Rena's words were more biting than any I had ever heard. Even now that we all knew the heavy history pressing down on Mion's shoulders, she had criticized her for killing our friends.
私が園崎家の役目を負うようにリカちゃんだって古出家の役目を負っていた。その役目が最後でも守ることだった。
So that's why she was killed. Okay, so Uishi's was it Uishi? Somebody, I think it was Uishi that said that Kimiyoshi and Rita died because of the storehouse incident, because Rita, changed the locks and Kimiyoshi agreed to changing the locks. So it wasn't personal. Which I didn't think it was personal, but I thought there might be a different one. The only other real theory was that Mion killed Kimiyoshi, Rika, and Oreo, which is her grandmother. Oreo? It's not Oreo. Something like that. To gain power. That's the only two theories I really thought of. But, yeah. My chest tightened.
去年あたりからリカちゃんが言ってたのは知ってたんだよ。最後での勘抜きが重くて辛い。もっと簡単な鍵に付け替えたいと。先代の神主さんでも重いと嘆いてた代物だからね。リカちゃんに辛いのは重々承知だった。
僕がちゃんと番をしますですから、もっと軽い鍵に変えてほしいなので
You
す。
haven't heard Rita's voice in so long. The soundtrack's pretty good too, right? I don't think we've heard it before this, right? Maybe we did. I don't remember it though. I replied on behalf of the Sonozaki family leader. Ever since the string of freak death incidents, there seem to be people who are insolent towards Oyashiro-sama, so you shouldn't replace the lock with a simpler one. That said, the leader of the Kimiyoshi family, Old Man Kimiyoshi, if it's that difficult for you, Rika-chan, then I think it's okay to replace the lock, he said. Also, another reason why Mion might have killed Rika as a theory, which, you can 90% wave off, because I think what she's saying makes sense, especially since she's in the mode of Sonozaki. I don't even know what to call this mode, but she's acting like a proper heir to the Sonozaki family. Another reason would be Rika-chan confronting Mion and trying to tell her not hurt Keiichi, because she said she would deal with it. I guess she just didn't get the chance to before because she literally died the night of, right? Yeah, so maybe she didn't. I don't know. I still have somewhere I'm still thinking that maybe she did confront them and that's why she was killed. But guess we'll have to wait and see if they do answer it. The very fact that it was locked with a key was an indication of it being somewhere you mustn't enter. There's nobody bad enough to break through it and go inside, he said. Nice, Keiichi. Even if we were alike as leaders, I couldn't find it in me to argue with Old Man Kimiyoshi, since I owed him so much. In the end, we decided to change out the lock on the storehouse and switched it to a really cheap and light padlock. I mean, maybe you could have invested it in one of those really I don't know, maybe they don't have those expensive padlocks that are pretty hard to open, but they're also pretty light. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but again, this is kind of far back in the past, right?
おじいちゃん、本当に大丈夫なんですか？バッチャもできることなら鍵は前のままの方が良かったと言ってます。
大丈夫だよ。
I keep forgetting this name.
心配性だな。何かあったらおじいちゃんがちゃんと責任を取ってあげるから。
And I guess that's where she took her, the habit of saying this old man from.
本当ですね。君吉家の当主として責任を取られるという意味ですね。おじいちゃんもこの中に収められているものがどれだけ神聖なものかよくご存知のはず。
大丈夫なのですよ。このひなみ沢に鍵を開けて勝手に入ってしまう悪い猫さんはいませんなのです。
1 year later, that's breaking into.
にゃーにゃー。
No, not the meow meow. You're right to cry, Keiichi. It is your fault. Partially. Sobs escaped from my mouth. Something hot and wet dripped down in spades and fell onto the tatami mat.
西宮殿に賊が忍び込んだという話は渡長市の祭りの最中にもう私の耳に入っていました。賊は4人。その日のうちに手が下されることになりました。同時に西宮殿に賊を許した古出家のリカちゃんと君吉家のおじいちゃんも責任を問わなければならなくなってしまった。
My tears dripped and dropped. Dripped and dropped. Until just now, I had decided that it was Mion's fault, that she killed Rika-chan and the others. That was wrong. The one who killed them wasn't Mion. It was me.
俺が殺したも
I mean,
当然なんだ。
kind of, but still, they did kill them, so... Honestly, it was more... I mean, you did go along with it, but it was more like the other three, I would say, took a way more active role. Maybe that's why you're alive, Keiichi.
圭一君。
I had the chance to stop this tragedy from beginning, and yet I didn't. Cheap curiosity got the better of me, and I didn't. If, at that time, I had stopped us from sneaking into the ritual storehouse, Rita-chan and the others wouldn't have had to die. If I had, then nothing would have happened. We would be spending our days, having lots of fun, like we always did.
俺がバカだった。
If by shedding tears I could take it all back, then I would have filled up the room with them. However, such a meager act wouldn't be enough to redeem myself for the crime I've committed.
ケイちゃんは何も悪くないよ。
Mion gently began to speak for me, as if trying to reason with me.
私は園崎家の当主として手を下さなければならなかったけど、園崎家の歴史なんか今にして思えば大したものじゃない。そんなもの全部投げ出しても私は仲間を救うべきだったのかもしれない。
I'm just thinking, what can possibly go wrong in this? Because this seems like it's really concluding pretty smoothly. Like, what sort of twist could happen? The only, like, real twist I can think of is Mion's lying about a lot of stuff. But what... something... I don't know what though. It has to be the reason for killing them, but I don't really know. Can't think of a better reason. I don't know, this seems like it's going really smoothly.
私がそんなものに屈したからあの二人を殺してしまった。
God, you gotta remember that Mion's a really good role player. Like, she played Shion really well, so this could also be an act, I guess.
それは他でもない私、園崎ミオンが殺したということ。
What if she's taking the fall for someone also?
私には踏みとどまる100億の瞬間があった。でも踏みとどまらなかった。安易に自らの役割に屈し、仲間のために戦うことを放棄してしまった。だからこれは私の罪。私が殺した。
What is is that face? Why?
里崎ミオンがこの手で
Does it match with the voice? I guess it's like a fake face.
殺してし
So
まっ
she
た
doesn't cry?
それは何ら変わらない
It also sounds like she's trying to hold back laughter. Ooh, that's kind of a freaky double meaning.
何も
Her masochistic laughter was sad. Especially because Mion boasted in the club that she would turn the tables on whatever predicaments presented themselves. It was so painful.
でも兄ちゃんは自分の意志で一人だけ救ったんだね。
Her boy Keiichi. As I looked at her surprise, Rena stuck her finger right at my forehead.
圭一君だけを殺さなかった。こんなにも強い力を持つ兄ちゃんなら造作もなかったろうに。
Still think Mion likes Keiichi.
でも殺さなかったんだよね。
That's right. Mion was so cunning that nobody could stand up to her, even in our club. If she had seriously tried to kill me, I would have been dealt with on the very first night. So many people had been sacrificed, but I was always left out in the cold. When did I first realize it? Even though people were disappearing one after the other, for some reason, I had this vague belief that only I would be left alive.
さてどうして殺さなかったのかね。鬼の私には見当もつかないわ。ミオンの方に殺したくない都合でもあったんじゃないの。
それどういう意味だよ。
Mion put a finger to her lips to say that Rena didn't need to talk.
大石は外で待ってるの。
This is going so smoothly. Is she just gonna give up? Nothing violent's gonna happen? Really? Damn.
逃げ場は
Nope.
ない。
I mean, this chapter really is different than Anataki, so I guess it would fit well thematically within the chapter itself, but I was expecting something to happen.
ぐるっと囲んでるって言って
Sorry, Mion. It's
た。
like
たく
you're
さんの
done.
車が来てるみたい
At
な。
least Rena will. The fact that she was gonna die when she said she's gonna come over to the house with us.
兄ちゃんちの広い敷
So
地
I thought
も
Keiichi was gonna
全
die.
部囲んでると思う。
It's a W though. Mion fell silent. Rena's merciless words felt cruel. But they weren't meant to be. Maybe they were trying to lessen her good friend's pain. If only by a little. Maybe they were considerate, like she was trying to help.
自首しよう。
Mion didn't open her mouth, but she smiled just a little.
私たちも一緒に行くよ。親友を一人きりになんか絶対にしない。
泣くことレナには勝てないわ。
She rose, scratching her head. Her face had returned entirely to that of the usual Mion.
自分で自分の罪どのくらいになるかよくわかってる。たとえ自首が認められても多分もうここに帰ってくることもないと思う。
Oh, I just thought of a twist. That could happen. What if Mion looked like she did kind of expect this was gonna happen? Maybe not the Wishi thing, but she expected Keiichi to at least come over. Maybe the villagers actually just killed all the cops outside, and then she's just again role playing, and I don't know, will punish Keiichi and Rena. That'd be a fun twist, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm just reaching for straws now. I shouldn't say anything. The number of deaths Mion was involved in was just too large. So much so that maybe recommending that she turn herself in was, in a way, extremely cruel.
だから 最後にわがままを聞いてほしいな。
何かな？
Nope.
30分でいいから。
Nope, something bad's trying to happen. Nope.
ケイちゃんと二人きりにしてほしい。
Rena, don't. I don't know, I just got chills. This isn't good. Huh? I mean, I can think of why she would want to in a non-bad way, which is probably why, but it still kind of spooks me. My name suddenly came up, and it looked like I was the only one surprised about that.
ケイチくん、どうかな？
They believe her. Honestly, I'm believing her more than I'm doubting her right now. I'm just trying to, spit some stuff just in case something bad does happen.
ケイチくんが嫌なら無理にとは言えない。
Whatever. Quality time with Mion, that's fine.
そうだね。嫌ならそれでもいいよ。私は鬼だもの。ケイちゃんはよそから引っ越してきた正真正銘の人間。相入れることなんてお社様が実在して仲介してくれない限り絶対にない。
That's a really good line. I actually really like that line. A little throwback. Oh, this song though. There is no reason for me to hesitate. Mion had been engulfed by heavy, unopposable tradition. Right now, the duty of handling this had fallen to me and me alone. In fact, with me concerned, it would have been okay for her to blame me. However, Mion didn't say one word of blame. Far from it, I was guilty of the same crime, and she had let me go. And amidst the fate that she could not oppose, she saved me alone. I didn't know whether I should be thankful for that. Thinking upon it now, I didn't know how much easier it would be if I were to be granted the same punishment as Rika-chan and the others. The only thing I knew for sure was that I had an equal duty to bear the sins that Mion shouldered. So, when it came to Mion's last request, there's no reason for me to hesitate.
Ah.
I like it. It's a little dangerous, but I think it's
Easy.
fine. We're at the end game anyways.
ありがとう。
私からもありがとうを言うよ、ケイチくん。
Rena stood up. It looked like she would keep her promise with Mion on leave.
あ、いいよレナ。ここで待っててくれれば。ケイちゃんとは庭をぐるりと回りたいだけだから。退屈だったら私の部屋へ行けばいい。漫画、なんだったらお気に入りの単行本丸ごと持ってってもいい。
嫌だよ。みーちゃんの本はみーちゃんのものだもの。勝手にレナの家に持って帰れない。
あんたはこんな時に限っていい子なんだから。
Mion took Rena's head and rubbed it violently, like I always did.
じゃあ行こう、ケイちゃん。
I began to walk after Mion, who headed for the hallway, when Rena silently stopped me.
みーちゃんもよろしくね。
ああ。
みーちゃん、もう二度と帰ってこれないって確信してる。
I mean, I still have a feeling that if she did get charged, I feel like she'd be taken good care of since, Yakuzas and a lot of political power. Maybe she wouldn't get away with it, but I don't think her life would suck, right? I didn't know much about laws, but with as many deaths as she's been involved in, the chances of her escaping a heavy punishment seem non-existent.
みーちゃんが短気を起こさないように見張ってね。
Mion might not surrender herself to justice, so I might have to put an end to it. Rena had already thought that far ahead.
ああ。そんなこと絶対にさせないから。
Rena rubbed at her tears, which had fallen without me noticing them.
じゃあ行ってあげて。
I nodded and followed Mion, who had disappeared out the front door. I could clearly hear Rena sobbing from the other side of the paper door.
どうしてみーちゃんは鬼なんか継がされちゃったんだろうね。
Sorry, I saw that band and I was thinking back to Anatakushi, but I think it was a white band, not a black band.
それは仕方のないことだったんだろうね。でもあんまりにもかわいそうだよね。
Something hot burned down my cheeks. They were my tears. I fiercely wiped them away. This was the last of my time I could offer to Mion, so I absolutely didn't want to let her see my tears during it. Mion was already waiting outside the front door. Chapter break. I'm gonna finish it today, but I guess I could stop the video and split it into 2 parts because it should be an hour. Should be about an hour, so I'm gonna do that. This will probably be up today, so Saturday, and then that's when I'll just upload tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed. I will be finishing off this one, but this has been good. I still have the suspicion something bad's gonna happen, though it's been going really smoothly, so I could be wrong, but I feel like putting a twist in would be a really good move, I guess. Because that's when twists are always the best, when you expect nothing would happen, and they've been pulling it off pretty well. But yeah, this was good. For this part, I can see they're giving so much information and answering a lot of questions that even when I do make a theory video, I don't think it'll be too as hard as on a Kakushi, since a lot of the stuff, there isn't too much questions I have for this one, but I guess I will just put theories anyways. And I do have to revise some on the Kakushi ones because my views on them have changed a lot. But anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!